Aisha, Wesley, amazing conversations. It's really amazing to share the stage with you. Cool, so let's get started. So back in 2013, me and my friends had a bit of a vision. We wanted to find some sort of a vehicle to address marginalization. And we basically found that through SMEs, we could do this. We're friends. We work together in many places, different corporations, but we came together through common purpose, and we came together before the idea. So big picture, small businesses, they drive the majority of employment, both here and across the whole continent. But they lack the facilities to accept payments, to get access to capital, to formalize, just these basics that a business needs. And the most important thing that we realized was it's not because large institutions don't like them or don't care. It's just simply because it's difficult to distribute to small micro businesses. They're unpredictable, they're not coalesced by anything, they're not easy to find, so you're not quite sure whatever you invest in them, you're going to get back. This distribution problem has played out in the payment space. So in South Africa, some interesting numbers. It's about 75–80% chance that a consumer has a card in their pocket. And this is at all levels of the economy, right at the top through to somebody who has a social grant on a prepaid MasterCard card. But less than 7% of businesses in the country are able to accept card. And the majority of businesses that are being cut out are small businesses. So that's why we started Yoko. We needed to solve this payment equation. Every business does a payment. It's at the backbone of every business. It's the lowest common denominator. And if you're not able to accept a payment, you're dramatically decreasing your ability to grow revenue, to formalize your records, and to take things to the next level. It's crazy. There are about 5 million businesses in South Africa, about 1 million of them registered. And we conservatively estimate that there's about 1 million businesses in this country that we can reach. So what's the product? A simple card machine, the reader. I don't know if some of you have seen them. We also have the point of sale software, which is free, comes in-house. And then we have capital, which is something we launched last year, which is going really, really well. So in a single product set and one ecosystem, we're solving a lot of things. First, we're giving access to payments and verified payments. So we're moving folks away from cash. With point of sale, we're moving folks away from pen and paper so they can now start keeping proper digital records within their businesses. And using that data, we're now able to advance capital to help businesses get access to working capital. All nice and simple. It's been a long journey, okay? So 2013, we founded the venture. We spent a year getting a license to operate. It's not easy breaking in South Africa. We were self-funded and took time off and eventually got this. We got our first bit of funding in 2014. We started incubating the business, and by the end of 2014, we got certified by Visa and MasterCard. So imagine 2 years before we did our first transaction. And then we kicked off a beta program, really quiet, stealth, focusing on the merchants, the experience, really making sure that it works well. And by the end of 2015, we officially launched the business, with about 500 merchants coming out of our beta program. And then the growth really started. And we subsequently were able to attract venture capital. So we've raised about $23 million to date. And we've launched other products, the point of sale, Yoko Capital. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Yoko Go later. But really, despite all of this, this is only just the start of our journey. So why do we exist? It's very simple. We started this venture to enable people to thrive. Whether it's the entrepreneurs we work with, the community, their communities, our team, whoever. Like, that's what this whole thing's all about. We have onboarded over 50,000 merchants nationwide since 2015. And it's counting. Actually, we're sitting at 55,000 today. And what's been incredible is just the reach across the whole country. So we're not just in the urban centers, but really, like, we're in rural towns all across the country. And the reason we've been able to do this is because we've innovated in distribution. So before, if you wanted to get a card machine, you had to call your bank and essentially ask for permission. Somebody would come see you. They would maybe allow you to have a machine, and maybe a couple of weeks later you'd have a machine. Our model is very simple. We adopted e-commerce. So you go online, like you're going on to Takealot, you fill in a few details, it takes you 5 minutes, you pay, and we literally ship the device to wherever you are. And that's what's allowed us to reach all corners of the country and provide access. There's a passionate team behind Yoko. I have some of my colleagues here. It's good to see you guys. So we're about 150 folks now across 4 locations. Incredibly diverse team representing the country. And I think this is allowing us to solve problems on the ground and with the right lens. And yeah, it's just been amazing seeing this team grow. When we reached the 50,000, we had a little thank you message for our customers.
Thank you for choosing us.
For letting us serve you.
For unlocking the full potential of your business.
Thank you for being brave.
Thank you for being amazing customers.
Thank you for inspiring me to do the work that I do every single day.
Thank you for being brave enough to start.
For being fearless.
For never giving up.
For contributing to your community.
For trusting us with the most important part of your business.
For believing in us.
For driving South Africa forward.
For doing what you love.
For inspiring us.
For being fearless. For contributing to the new South Africa.
For trusting Yoko with your business.
For just starting.
For taking the next step with us.
For sharing your journey with us.
For believing in us.
For letting us support you as you grow inside the economy.
Thank you for giving us amazing stories to tell every day.
For inspiring us and our next generation.
For looking for opportunities in this country.
For being so bold.
For conquering your fears.
For introducing something new into the world.
Cool, yeah. So that's the team. These are the folks I get to work with, and just extremely purpose-driven. Now, what's been amazing is the majority of the 50,000 merchants that we've signed up are accepting card payments for the first time, so about 75% of them. And these are the folks that we're actively targeting. So we are interested in formalizing businesses that will cut out. Businesses that already had card machines, they're taken care of. We need to focus on getting to non-consumption, formalizing businesses and bringing them into the economy. And it's just so exciting to show that it's real, right? The small business economy is real. We've been doubling every year in terms of how much volume we're processing. And as I said before, the majority of this money was actually sitting in cash. So our stated goal as a business is to keep doubling. We want to reach twice as many merchants every year. It's ambitious, but there's really a fire that's sitting under us. We want to connect as many businesses into the economy as possible. But I've spoken about the 50,000, nice numbers, but let's think about the million. That's what we're interested in. And it's really now time for Yoko to move out of the early adopters who represent these 50,000 and into mass market. And one of the ways we want to ignite this is by catalyzing entrepreneurship, by inspiring people to just start.
Why did I leave a paying job? What was I thinking? This will never succeed.
No bank will finance us. Dit sal nooit werk nie. Such a stupid idea. This will never work.
This isn't a real business. This idea will fail. My father's legacy, foolish childhood dreams. This idea will fail.
Don't pay no mind.
for a chance to sing my song. Don't pay no mind, I'll be just fine. I've worked my whole life for a chance to sing my song. Don't pay no mind.
Okay, so getting beyond the 50,000 and enabling entrepreneurship, it's not just about payments. So knowledge, capital, business tools, payments. We're investing a lot in knowledge. We're publishing data now on our 50,000 merchants, sampling them, doing quarterly reports, and just telling the market what's really happening with small business. In addition to that, I've spoken about the capital, how we're now starting to give working capital to these smaller businesses, business tools, and how we're using software to really digitize these businesses and payments. So knowledge, research, and white papers, you're going to see a lot of content coming out of us. We're in a privileged position now. We have the data, we have the relationships, we understand these segments, and we're now in a position to really remove a lot of the stereotypes around small businesses. Open by Yoko is a platform we've just opened up now. It's education. So how do you start a business? How do you run a business? How do you grow a business? We're really starting to see that knowledge is the glue that brings everything together. And then Meets by Yoko, these are community events that we host across the country. And then capital. So we've dispersed over 55 million rand in capital since we launched the product. We served over 1,000 merchants. And what's amazing about this product is that you can literally access it from your app. You can get a loan. Yeah. And then tools. So I've spoken about the point of sale. Really exciting. So a whole set of tools for business owners that they can now use to run their businesses. And we're going to continually evolving this to make sense. So we have a bit of history with our card machines. The first one on the right used to plug into your phone. And then we introduced the Yoko Lite, the Yoko Pro. But remember earlier I spoke about it was time for us to get into the mass market and really become a lot more accessible. So we've launched the most affordable card machine ever in the country. And I'm going to show it to you. Oh, there it is. My video is missing. Okay, anyway. So this is the Yoko Go, which we launched about 3 weeks ago. And this card machine costs 799 Rand once off. And what's been crazy is that we've already sold about 3,800 of these machines since we launched. So we've really now treated the market. We've opened up the market. Thank you. And we're just super excited to bring in a new class of merchant. Our vision, open commerce. So we're getting to these smaller businesses that were previously not reachable. We're digitizing their payments. We're digitizing their activities at the point of sale. We're giving them access to capital. But one of the biggest things that we want to challenge is this idea of keeping things to yourself and not being open. Our view is our gain never has to be anyone's loss. So we're building a platform with the merchant at the center, the products we offer along the side, and partners that we want to give access to our distribution network. It's a win-win-win situation for all. It's all about the entrepreneurs. We want to open things up. We want to enable people to thrive. We want to move the economy forward. We think we can reconstitute South Africa through small business. So, just to wrap up, we went around the country and visited a bunch of rural towns to meet small businesses. And what we found was truly astounding. We found creativity, we found hustle, we found just the same people doing amazing things and being super creative, and this was truly inspirational. And yeah, everything I've spoken about ultimately comes down to these folks, these ordinary South Africans trying to do things for their families, not asking for much, being creative and making things happen. And I really believe this is our future. We just need to highlight it and do more. Thank you very much.